God doesn't want you worrying about anything. Nothing, nada, zero. Philippians 4:6 makes it clear. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. You can pray or you can panic. You can worship or you can worry. When you choose to worship, worry leaves. It's that simple. But why does God insist we shouldn't worry? First, worry is unreasonable. It doesn't make sense. It's irrational and illogical. We often stress over little things, how we look, what people think, or whether we'll be late. Most of it won't even matter in 5 years. Jesus teaches us to focus on eternal things instead. If you're going to think deeply, think about what truly lasts. Second, worry is unnatural. Nature doesn't worry. Birds don't stress about where their next meal comes from, yet God feeds them. Aren't you worth much more than birds? Matthew 6:26 says, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them." Jesus also points to the flowers. "Look at the lilies of the field. They don't work to make their clothes. Yet even Solomon in all his glory wasn't dressed as beautifully as they are." Matthew 6:28-29. Flowers don't worry, but humans made in God's image do. Why? Because we forget God's care for us. Worry is also unhelpful. It doesn't work. Jesus says in Matthew 6:27, "Can any of you by worrying add a single hour to your life?" Worry can't make you taller, shorter, richer, or healthier. It's a waste of energy. It doesn't change your past or control your future. It just messes up today. Here's the truth. When you worry, you take on responsibility God never intended you to have. Worry is like playing God. It says, "This all depends on me," when it doesn't. You're not God. You're His child, and He's promised to provide for you. Matthew 6:30 reminds us, if God cares so wonderfully for wildflowers that are here today and gone tomorrow, won't He surely care for you? You are deeply valuable to God. Look at the cross. Jesus didn't die for junk. He died for you. So why do we worry? Worry comes from forgetting who God is and how much He loves us. Every time you worry, it's a warning light flashing saying, "I've forgotten the goodness of God." Jesus solved your biggest problem, eternal salvation. If He can handle that, don't you think He can handle your job, your relationships, or your health? Trusting God with your eternity but doubting Him with your daily life doesn't make sense. John 14:1 says, "Don't let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God and believe in me." What do you do instead of worrying? Here's how you let go and trust God. Ask God to be your shepherd every day. Start your morning by declaring, "The Lord is my shepherd." Say it throughout the day. Let it sink into your soul. Jesus says in John 10:14, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me." Put God first in every area of your life. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." When Jesus is first, your priorities align, and you'll have less to worry about. Worry often comes from loving something more than God. Whether it's money, relationships, or your future, anything you place above God will cause stress. Live one day at a time. Jesus said, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Matthew 6:34. You can't live in the past, and you can't live in the future. You can only live today. When you worry about tomorrow, you miss today's blessings. God designed life in 24-hour segments so you wouldn't be overwhelmed. Focus on the present and trust Him with the rest. Worry is like a thief. It steals your peace, your joy, and your focus. But you don't have to live that way. Trust God. Let go of the need to control everything. He's got you, and He's not letting go. Jesus is your shepherd. He laid down his life for you, and he's promised to meet your every need. So, whenever worry creeps in, remind yourself, the Lord is my shepherd. Let go and trust God.